Three things I would never do as a criminal defense attorney. From a perspective of practicing law, probably the number one thing is I would never lie to the court. I think there's this assumption that as a defense attorney or as an attorney, you're sneaky, or I've certainly heard that sort of thing, and you try to basically tell untruths and sound truthful or something like that. That is far from the reality. Ethically, you are not allowed to lie to a court. There are times when we don't bring things up to a court unless we think they need to know them, but if we're asked, we have to tell the truth. So that's probably the number one thing. Your credibility, not only is it an ethical obligation that could get you disbarred if you don't manage that, but your credibility in front of courts, when you're asking for things for your clients, it's all going to hang on the way you deal with the courts. So honesty with the courts, honesty when you're talking about a subject or addressing things with the court is probably paramount in my concerns is how I conduct myself as an attorney. Um, I think the other thing would be as a criminal defense attorney, uh, failing to advise my client of sort of the traffic if they're going to cross the road is the way I think of this. If a client's charged with something or they're trying to make decisions in the face of being charged with a crime, my job as an attorney is to tell them the lay of the land, tell them what their options are, what they need to be concerned about, what the evidence looks like against them, how that evidence might be considered by jurors or a judge. That is my number one, I guess, requirement as an attorney that I do these things for my client. That's sort of the point of hiring someone. You want someone with experience and the ability to break things down and communicate them in an effective way. So, as an attorney, I would never fail to advise my client, again, of sort of the traffic that's coming if they're crossing a road. If I don't advise my client that there's bad information out there, or there's some bad things out there, and they get hit by a truck crossing the road, then I messed up. I have to advise them, hey, if you're going to cross, if you're going to, for example, go to trial, I don't want them to be surprised by the evidence that comes out, or maybe the difficulty in challenging a piece of evidence. So that's very important. Just on a more personal thing and ties into practicing law, I would never drive after drinking. Now that's easy for me to say because I don't drink alcohol. I've never drank alcohol. So, but I advise clients and I advise friends of this all the time. I tell them if you've been drinking, I wouldn't drive. Again, I've been an attorney for 25 years. If you get pulled over and an officer smells alcohol on you, the ball's rolling on you likely going to jail, whether you're intoxicated or not. And that's a very scary thing. And digging yourself out from that hole is very difficult. I do appreciate that having a drink and driving does not mean you're driving intoxicated. I don't think it's anything like that. I just usually tell people if you've been drinking, make sure you're getting a riding with someone that doesn't drink. Certainly, if you are drinking after or driving after you've been drinking, make sure some time has passed. You've eaten food. Be mindful of it. I've seen some horrible, horrible things in terms of accidents and people getting hurt, things like that. And so I generally tell people that I know if they've been drinking at all, they probably should, have an arrangement for getting a ride home.